Trap exempt.
Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you, but I just want to fall on them to show them devils you waiting and to play with. I raised mature enough to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you, but I just want to fall on them to show them devils you waiting and to play with. I raised mature enough to say the same shit. I know you asking for this change in your life, but ain't living it right because you thug it at night. Your mama praying and your daddy did too. They gave you 5, but you only did 2. Now in your mind you be hearing voices. Should I go back in and make some better choices? Should I get a job or put on black forces? Go and hit the streets or take some college courses? But all you ever felt was pain. All you ever seen was rain. Got you thinking to yourself, man, this shit will never change. And all the pressure that you feel make you want to give it up. But you looking at your babies and you know that they enough. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you, but I just want to fall on them to show them devils you waiting and to play with. I raised mature enough to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you, but I just want to fall on them to show them devils you waiting and to play with. I raised mature enough to say the same shit. Hey, all the shit that I done seen, man, I really needed help. Whole world filled with people, I was still by myself. Really on my grind, I was feeling for that wealth. Every day cutting corners, I was cheating on myself. Nigga busting at my melon, how the fuck I cheated death? Fucking with no rubber, I was playing with my health. Looking in the mirror, couldn't recognize myself. Heartbroken by a bitch, couldn't love nobody else. But when I heard the truth, them bitches left me by myself. And if you hear the pain, you should see it for yourself. Marching like a soldier, I was really for the death. One west till they buried me, couldn't be nobody else.
We good?
Come on, sir.
All right, go ahead and clap it up. Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. All right, this is Monday night history class. All right, so today we're gonna get into a couple articles, and we're going to talk about basically separating from your enemy. You have to understand who your enemy is, and you have to understand how to deal with them. Just like your enemy, they know how to deal with you. They know how to deal with you at work. They know how to deal with you in public. But they understand when they go home, they understand that they are different from you. While we constantly thinking we the same, while we constantly thinking we're equal, while we constantly thinking we have a foot in this race, okay? When we don't at all. All right. So you listen to these words of your enemies, and you believe that they care about you. You believe that not all of them are bad. Okay. You believe that your buddy at work, that he isn't out to get you. When every time he has a chance, he throws you under the bus. Okay. So we have to get understanding about who we are. We are God's chosen people. We are a special people unto the Most High, and you shouldn't give yourself to everybody. You shouldn't give yourself to every nation. Okay, you should give yourself to your nations, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, give me Zephaniah 2:1. You can get that young man Zephaniah 2:1.
Yeah, unmute your mic once you got it, Baba Kasha.
I ain't got it yet. The phone I'm using is I'm using for streaming.
You got a Bible on you, a physical Bible.
One second.
Yeah, just grab that.
I'm gonna have it on the screen too. Can you see it?
He probably went and grabbed it. But yeah, like we got to understand the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that we have to be a nation, and we can't be a nation spread out. We can't be a nation separated. The only way we're going to be a nation is if we are together. Okay, just like every other nation. Every other nation they have the body of government. They have a army. They have a people. They have a law. They have the rules that they abide by. They have a custom. Well, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you also have a custom. So you don't have to follow the customs of your oppressor, the customs of your enemies, the customs of these other nations. You don't have to follow Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving and Christmas and celebrating your birthday and doing everything that they do when you have your own. And the only way you're going to know that is from the priests and prophets here in the Israelite School of UPK, bringing it out and teaching you. We all are taught, just like we were taught these customs, we got to learn to forget these customs and get reacquainted with our own traditions. Okay. And stop following these other. Anybody got that?
Come on, sir. I got it.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Do what?
Yea, gather yourselves together. Yea,
Uh-huh.
gather together. O nation not desired.
Read that one more time.
Gather yourselves together.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, gather together. O nation not desired.
That nation not desired. That's who needs to gather together. Us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are that nation not desired. Okay, we are not desired. We are the what? We are the last hired and the first fired. What are we? What you say with the market? We are oppressed, depressed, suppressed, and repressed. We all oppressed. We just oppressed people. Okay, so we have to gather
Suppressed.
ourselves together as a nation, as a body. That is important. Why is that important? Because that's how we deliver the nation. Okay, we have to do that and stop following these traditions of men. We love following the traditions and the customs of men, but we don't want to follow our own. Okay. Um, Give me Colossians 2:8 real quick. Yeah, that's what I need. Yep.
You there, young man? All right, no, sir. I got you, sir. This is a letter of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware. lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain decree.
All right, beware that any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. That's what you get in. That's what you get. And you get is spoiled right now. Okay, and what is spoiled? Spoiled is not good. Spoiled is bad. Okay, so you are being spoiled through philosophy and vain deceit. What philosophy are you being spoiled with? You being spoiled. You being destroyed with this Christianity, with this deceit of a white Christ and of the traditions. Continue.
After the tradition of men.
After what?
After the tradition of men.
See, after the traditions of men, and not after traditions of the Most High. That's who you supposed to. You supposed to be going after traditions of the Most High, of your customs. All right, and not after their traditions, not after their philosophies. Okay, you were so stuck in their customs, so stuck in their ways that you going broke every holiday, as I like to call it. Okay, continue.
After the rudiments of the world,
Mm-hmm.
and not after Christ.
You're after the things of the world and not after Christ. So, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need to get a understanding of the position that we are in. You know, and the position that we are in is we are scattered, so we need to come together. Okay, and be after the rudiments of Christ, not after the rudiments, the traditions, and the vain deceit of this world. Hey, also Tamaki, if you could, if we can get that first article, I would like the what nobody says about Austin, because Austin, Texas is cool. We keep Austin weird. It's everybody loves everybody out here. We all get along. We're all the same, right? That's what they would have you believe. They would have you believe that you all the same and that everybody's equal. But your enemy still considers you three-fifths of a man. Okay?
All right, you ready for it, sir?
I'm
What nobody
ready.
says
I'm
about
definitely ready.
sir. What nobody says about Austin is Austin the state's most segregated city. When I moved to Austin in the fall of 2008 to teach at the University of Texas, I was the envy, Natalia Hush. I was the envy of nearly everyone I knew. Wasn't the coolest city in the state, the country, quite possibly the earth? Yet still I was dragging my feet, which many Austinites found offensive. Even tried to argue, even tried arguing with one about the superiority of any other place.
So they said while she was dragging her feet, they're like, just come on, move here. Hey, Austin is way better. I mean, it's better than all the other cities. I mean, this is the best city. Mind you, in the title it says, "Is Austin the most segregated city?" Good night. Okay, so they're over here arguing about the superiority of Austin, saying Austin is great. Continue reading.
Yet still I was dragging my feet, which many Austinites found offensive. Even tried arguing with one about the sup- yeah
Superiority.
superiority Salagia, of any other place. I lived previously in Brownsville, San Antonio, El Paso, Houston, and I visit Austin countless times as a contributor to this magazine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd always find it wanting in a way that was significant to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first place in my home state where I was frequently aware of my ethnic difference.
It was what?
It was frequently aware of my ethnic deep difference.
You see that? It says It says Austin was the first place in her home state where she frequently, that means a lot, was aware of her ethnic difference. Okay, where she knew she was a Mexican. When she came to Austin, she knew she wasn't the same. She knew she was a Mexican. Continue reading.
Those other Texas cities had their own racial and class problems, sure, but they all had vibrant Latino communities.
See, they all had
And
hold on, they all had vibrant Latino communities. That means not every Latino community has to be in the slums. Okay, continue.
and they were cities where I could experience myself as both a Tijuana and a Texan, an American who was Latino. By contrast, sometimes when I had lunch with my editor in downtown Austin, I noticed I was the only non-white patron in the restaurant.
She said when she went to the to the restaurant, she wasn't the only. She realized, she was the only non-white Patreon that's patronizing these places, that's spending their money in here, that's coming to these places. She realized, damn, I'm the only one who looks like me in here. Continue.
Things weren't much better at UT.
Damn,
Whether
things weren't much better at UT. At the college, it didn't get any better. Wasn't any better. This was in '08. This was written in 2013. But she's talking about 2008. That's not that damn far back. Continue.
where the faculty was just 5.9% Latino and just 3.7% African American. I had to ask myself, in a city where Hispanics made up over a third of the residents, why were they so hard to find?
Why are they so hard to find when there's so many of them? Well, because they put you in a concentrated place. See, that's what they do. See, your enemies are confederate against you, and they concentrate you in these locations so they can control you, so they can watch you, so they can have you where they want you. Continue reading.
Austin prides itself on its cultural liberalism and sophistication, but given the invisibility of Latinos, it irks me that the city was obsessed with Latin American culture.
All right, so even though the Latinos was invisible, the city, what does it say, that the city was obsessed with Latin culture. Okay, continue.
It irked me that the city was obsessed with Latin American culture. Austin's fixation with tacos and migas and
All right, so
queso,
it's saying Austin
queso.
had a fixation. These devils got a fixation with tacos, migas, which migas to me, I know is like tacos. It's like eggs and the tortilla cooked up and made into a taco. You know what I mean? And then and queso. Okay, this is insane. You can continue reading.
Ain't that like a quesadilla?
No, queso's the cheese.
Right. Yeah, no sweat.
You know,
I said seemed to me a way for local to fashionize a world
to
most of
to,
the
to fetish to fetish size. So they're making it a fetish. They fetishize on our culture, on our foods. Good night. Continue.
to fetishize a world most of them didn't regularly engage with. When
You
I
see,
went,
hold on. They don't regularly engage with it because they just come into what? Eat your damn food, come into your neighborhood to get a couple little bittles to eat, and then they out of here. Okay? They just gone. All right? But they fetishize over your queso. Yeah, we're gonna go over there into the barrio and get that queso and get those tacos and those migas from my Mexican migas. Okay, that's what they're going to do. Continue reading.
When I went salsa dancing downtown a few times, a white guy would sashay up to me with a
Hold on, hold
short
on, hold on, hold on, Tamakia. Hold on, Tamakia. She said when
yeah,
she went out. She said when she
right.
went out salsa dancing downtown. She said a white guy with sashay up. You know how they gonna come up to her sashaying. Okay, good night. Hey, come up to him sashaying up to me with a sultry coming up saying it. Though it's a sultry the way they say it. They about to say these phrases to her. Go ahead.
All right. Hola, ¿quieres bailar conmigo?
Meaning, do you want to dance? So they coming up sashaying, and they know how to say, "Do you want to dance?" in Spanish. This is this is your enemy's mindset. Continue reading.
That's not how it's spelled. They making fun of this white guy. Slovakia. And I had to explain that I spoke English.
She had to what?
I also felt I had to explain that I spoke English.
You had to let them know, like, yeah, I English. You don't have to come over here sashaying, trying to talk my language. Okay. Good night. Continue reading.
I also felt persistently overdressed. When invitations called for Texas Chick or Austin Cool, I am invertible,
And
invertibly,
yeah, and invariably.
invariably wore the wrong clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Once I showed up to a beautiful hill country ranch wedding in a long summer dress and stilettos when all the women were in knee-high frocks
And you
and
could drop
sandals.
down. You could drop down to the I bought a condo.
You said
Yep.
about a condo.
Yep. Right there. No, it's up. Up, 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 up.
Oh, the next paragraph.
Yep.
Okay,
Right
gotcha.
there.
I bought a condo in Southwest Austin in a neighborhood with a nice mix of natives and newcomers. For some reason, the area felt to me closer in spirit to the rest of Texas. On William Cannon Drive, I could drive a couple of miles west for lemon pop season pancakes at Kirby
Poppy seed.
Lane Cafe.
Lemon poppy seed.
Oh, okay. Or east for 99 cent. Barbacoa, bar, yeah, barbacoa.
Boy. Mhm.
My rib always check me on this word.
Yeah,
Barbacoa
definitely.
tacos, Les Delicias meat market. The
Uh-huh.
development was still under construction when I moved in, and a crew of strictly Mexican workers was a ubiquitous,
Ambiguous.
ubiquitous presence during the first month I lived. It was
All right,
from
so
them.
when she first moved there, this crew where she could get the at this market, the meat market, she's talking about was strictly Mexican workers with ubiquitous presence during the first months I lived there. Continue.
It was from them I learned about a great Austin divide and
It
began
was what?
to
It was what?
a great Austin divide.
See, it says it was from them that I learned that there was a great. Where does it say that there was a great? Where is it at?
Austin Divide. I'm gonna highlight it on the screen.
Yeah. See, there, yeah, a great Austin divide. All right, it was from them they learned. You know how she learned? By gathering together with her nation. That's why it's so important to get the information from your people and not to trust every other nation. All right,
Right.
you could get the 411 from your people so you can get clear understanding so you can know exactly what you're dealing with. Continue reading, Officer Tamakia.
And began to understand why the rarely saw understand why I rarely saw any Latinos or blacks
So she's about to
along.
break it down of why she rarely seeing Latinos or black, and we're about to understand how the demographic and the geographic of Austin is set up. Okay, go ahead and continue reading.
Come on. A long-standing east-west geographical rift shapes race and class relations in the capital to this day.
You see,
The
and it
work,
does. It's still to this day. Like that's heavy. What it says. It says a long-standing east-west geographic rift shapes the race and the class relations. We know what you are by where you live.
right.
You tell me a certain place you live, I already know where you at. You know. Continue reading.
The workmen lived on the east side of 35, where the city's biggest concentration of
Concentration.
concentration. Yeah, my bad. I'm speaking Spanish and English at the same time. The minorities reside.
All right, you see
Latino.
that? It says the workmen. The workmen. The workmen lived on the east side of I-35. Okay, where the city's biggest concentration of minorities reside. Damn. See how they conglomerate you into one area. All right, continue reading.
mm, Latinos made up 35% of Austin's population. Blacks 8%. The west side of I-35 was mostly white. This was where they came to work, and they literally kept the heads down while they did so.
So it said they
Was
coming
the
over to your area. See all the good jobs they over by your area, and they
got it.
coming over there to work. And when they come over there to work, they literally keep their heads down while they do so, not engaging in you, not paying attention to how destroyed your part of the city is, not paying attention to how destroyed our people are. They're just going there, getting their money, and they're going back over to their side, and they're building, and they're putting commerce into their side while everything is being taken and generated from our side. Continue reading.
Was the state's most progressive city, also its most segregated.
Mm-hmm.
Austin's geographic divide has a specific legal past.
See, hold
Like,
on, hold on, hold on. It's so there, like it's saying, there is a reason for this, right? It says Austin's geographic divide has a specific legal past. Now we're going to divulge and get into that because what is this legal past that it has to make it to show you that today is like it was even back then. Okay, continue reading, Officer Tamakia.
hey, can you text that brother right quick, Bubba Shaw?
You talking about young
Austin's
man?
kind of sir. Austin's geographic divide has a specific legal past. As I came to learn, African Americans have been living throughout the city in the early 1900s until 1982 city plan process concentrating all services of black resident
All
parks.
right, hold on. Uh, 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 yeah, take me back up a little bit. Okay.
As I came to learn, African
Yes.
Americans have been living throughout the city in the early 1900s until a 1982 city plan process.
1928.
Oh yeah, my bad. I don't know what I said. 1928 city plan proposed concentrating all services for the black residents.
All right,
Parks.
hold on. It said, African Americans have been living throughout the city. They were through the whole city in the 1900s, right? Until 1928. Then the city plan proposed concentrating all services for black residents. Continue.
Proposed concentrating all services for black residents, parks, libraries, schools on the east side to avoid uh,
Duplicate.
duplications, uh, duplicating them elsewhere.
All right, hold on. I got to touch on it. Hold on. Wait a minute. You can stay right where you was. It says, where the hell are we? All right, right there.
Right here, yeah.
It says, all right, so the 1900s until 1928, the city proposed concentrating all services for black residents, parks, libraries, and schools on the east side to avoid us duplicating elsewhere. So they don't want us all over the damn city. They want us in the locations that they want us in. That's point blank, period, man, because your enemy has absolutely no love or regard for you. Why the hell do you think they want you in these parts? And how I notice is I done went to places to get an application to move in, and nobody knows where to get no application. Nobody knows any damn thing because they don't want you around. They don't want you there. They don't have any love for you. Okay? Continue reading.
All right. Black residents, parks, libraries, schools on the east side to avoid duplicating them elsewhere. This was in the time of separation but equal. Separate but equal. Racial zoning. Hold on, a quick slide. You still hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
gone.
baby. Racial zoning was unconstitutional, but this policy accomplished the same thing by 1940. Most black Austinites were living between 7th and 12th Streets, while the growing Mexican American population was consolidating just south of that.
You see, so blacks and Hispanics, you're consolidating. They're going to put you in a controlled area. They're going to control your environment, and that's why you should never. Can I get Ecclesiasticus 12:10?
Come, sir, come. Give me 1 second. Share the screen. I don't think your man coming back.
He might not. I'll send the little text in there. So if he do, he do. If he don't, he don't.
Yeah, we're gonna write it to the wheels fall off. All right, here go that script you needed right here, sir. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Sometimes
Never trust thine enemy.
we're gonna put y'all over here in this part of the city.
Never trust thine enemy.
But me and Billy both love the Cowboys.
Never trust thine enemy.
Continue.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Like iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Now you know a piece of metal. If you get a piece of metal or a piece of iron and it just starts to rust, do you know what that rust will do? That rust will continue to spread until it completely eats through the metal. Okay, it's like a cancer. That's why you never trust your enemy, because your enemy is a cancer to you.
Right.
Okay. Um Now let's go back to the article.
All right. Let me drop this share screen. Give me 1 second. My computer moving a little bit slow.
No sweat.
All right. For years, Austin has held the you said that the boys.
Hold on. Let me
The,
see where we're at. Hold on, I need to go to the next page. Salakia. Dubious.
okay.
It's
For
dubious.
years, for years,
Dubious.
Austin has held the dubious distinction of being the only major city in the country clinging to an outmod, outmoded model of elective representation that all but ensured is racial ex- exclusivity
Yep.
exclusivity would persist. Since 1953, members of the city council have been elected on an at-large basis, which means that the residents vote for individuals to represent the city as a whole, not their own neighbors,
Not what?
not their own neighbors,
Not their own
own neighborhood,
neighborhoods. Okay. Continue.
because levels of voter uh, participation, not to mention money, are unequal from neighborhood to neighborhood.
And why do you
This
think that? Because we are poor. We are oppressed. That's why voter participation, and not to mention money. They got all the money, all the wealth. They're living in the nicest damn areas. Okay. So it's and not the money. Okay. Are unequal from neighborhood to neighborhood. That's why. Continue.
uh, this has perpetuated a serious imbalance in who holds and influences power. In the
Okay.
past,
So the money, the demographic, the power that they have, the supremacy. Okay, this is what perpetuates a serious imbalance. Who holds the influence of power? Okay, you think they're going to come and take all the votes from the ghetto and let them override the votes from their neighborhoods when they got all the money and the power? When they're the ones who make the ballots and send them out for you to write your little 2 cents on there? Go ahead and continue.
all right, sir. In the past 40 years, half in the city council members and 15 and 17 mayors have been from 4 zip codes west of I-35,
You
an
see,
area that is
hold on, ain't none of them coming from the ghettos. Ain't none of them coming from the barrios. That's why it's saying west of the 35. It ain't saying from the east of the 35. Continue reading.
what was that? Oh, an area that is home to just a tenth of the city's population. The few have been governing the many.
Do you see that the few have been governing the many? Because where we're getting these governors from and these senators and all these elected mayors and council members, we're getting them from a tenth of the city's population. So the people who were governing and ruling you, they come from a tenth of the city's population. So how the hell do they know what's going on in the ghetto? How the hell do they know what's going on with little Ray Ray? They don't have any understanding of that because they live in this 10 percentile area, okay, where everything's nice, where all the roads are fixed. What the hell do they know about a pothole? Okay, bending your rim every time you come down the street, almost busting your tire. What do they know about oppression? What do they know about the homeless situation? They don't know anything because they're not a part of the city. They're a part of the 10% town, and they're governing the 90%. They're governing the people who need the food stamps, who need the help, who need retribution. Okay, continue reading.
The few have been governing the many. The roots of the system are shameful. Until 1950, the system was straightforward. The top five vote getters on a single ballot will become council members and select the mayor themselves. In 1951, a black candidate, Arthur D. Whitty, then president of Austin's NAACP chapter, came in sixth, which armed the city's white business establishment. The city was
Hold on, hold
getter.
on, hold on. It said when Arthur did what he came through, he was the president of Austin's in AACP chapter. He said he came in sixth, which alarmed the city's white business establishments. Like you coming in sixth place, that ain't second or damn third, and you alarm them because you're not even supposed to get that high. You're not even supposed to get that close to their glory. Continue reading.
Right? The system was rigged to create this destination, yeah, destination seats
Designated.
or oh,
It was
designated seats.
rejiggered to create designated.
All right, no sweat. Or places requiring more than 50% of the vote to win. A
All right, so hold
majority.
on. So hold on. When it was the top five vote getters on a single ballot, they could become a council member or a mayor. Well, when DeWitty when he came in sixth place, they said, "Oh hell no, we got to change this because this nigga got too close." Continue.
What was that?
Requiring more than
Requiring more than 50% of the vote to win. A majority no ethnic candidate could achieve at the time.
it
Not
said what?
until
No what? No what?
no ethnic candidate could achieve at the time.
It says a majority that no ethnic uh, uh, candidate could achieve at the time. They making it. See, that's what they do. That's why you should never trust thine enemy because
Right.
they try to make life impossible for you. They never make your life easier. The whole time you've been here as a slave in America, being in oppression for damn near for 400 or 500 years, is not to make your life easier at all. Okay, it's to make your life hell. Continue reading.
Mm. Not until 20 years later, in 1971, was an African American elected to the council, followed by the first Latino in 1975.
Do you see how long it takes us to even get to taste a little bit of what they just experience as the norm? You can continue reading Officer Thammakia.
Come at that point, acknowledge forced to acknowledge the slowly growing political clout of minorities. The city's establishment came up with the informal gentleman's agreement. One point on the council would be reserved for the Latinos, place five, although later it became place two, and another spot, place six for blacks. Damn.
You see that?
Though
Continue.
nothing prevented minority candidates from running for another place. They generally complied with the rules since to do otherwise would disrupt the system, making victory unlikely. To date, no Latino or blacks have held a different seat through though in 2001, Gus Garcia was elected Austin's first Hispanic mayor.
Are you seeing that? Hey, they came up with a gentleman's agreement. They aren't gentlemen at damn all. They came up with a gentleman's agreement to put a place five, like I said, that later became two, and a place six for blacks. Okay, so they're creating these spots that you could have, and it says that to date, no Latino or black has held a different seat because they're not going to break their structure for you. No matter how equal you think you are, no matter how you think you have it, they're not going to do that. Okay? They don't have any love for you. It's
Right.
always hate and disdain. And they know they can't get you in those seats because you're going to you will take over. You will be greater than them. Okay? Continue reading.
For 40 years, local activists have pushed to fix the disparity by moving to a system of single member districts. This legal remedy emerged throughout the country in the 70s. In 1960, Voting Rights Act had overlawed policies impeding racial minorities access to the electoral process, including practices
All
that
right, you
would
see that? It said, hold on. It says in 1965, Voting Rights Act had outlawed policies impeding racial minorities to access electoral process. Okay, you're not getting no. You're not a part of the electoral college. You're not getting no electoral vote. Okay, you get the popular vote. All right, continue.
uh, including practices that might dilute the effectiveness of their votes. A series of subsequent Supreme Court decisions compelled city and state governments to draw up districts with non-white majorities, which would ensure they could elect to office one of their own.
You see that?
Wow.
Hold on. Do you see that? They when they come into office, when they doing it, they want to elect one of their own. That's why they set up these things. Okay, they set up all of this so they can continue on in their supremacy. All right, and there ain't nothing you could do about it. Where are we at? Where does it say that? Yeah, it says
Uh,
it says
right here.
Supreme Court decisions compel cities and state governments to draw up districts with non-white minorities, with non-white majorities. All right, which would ensure that they could elect one of their own. Continue.
By and large, this fix was worked. I mean, by and large, this fix has worked. Single member districts have been especially effective at overcoming historic segregation in the cities with similarities to Austin, where the system was significantly designed to weaken the voting strength of minorities.
Minorities.
They have far less impact in cities where ethnic groups were dispersed and where they reside, where they represented a sizable portion of overall voters.
See, so this is what they do. They have to put things in place to basically save you so you can try to have a fighting chance. Okay. This is they already established this in other cities, and it's supposed to help you because the system was specifically designed to weaken the voting strengths of minorities. They everything they do, they want to weaken your strength because you are
Right.
a powerful people. You are a strong, special people into the Most High. Continue.
Austin had tried to fail 6 times to pass a single member district ballot initiative.
Initiative.
Oh, initiative. Yeah, good night. Finally, in November, 60% of voters approved the plan known as 10 to 1 for the 10th for the 10 districts it will create citywide. You're finally going to have a council member that actually lives in your area and experiences your same traffic jams same traffic jams, day to day life, trips to the grocery store, said Council Member Mike Martinez. Certainly the council's only Latino.
You see, this is what it takes. It takes one of you going in there disrupting their system. Now, this guy, Mike Martinez, he's from the other side, okay? He said, you're finally, out of all these years, you finally gonna have somebody who that actually lives in your area, okay, that experience your same traffic jams, your day to day, who lives in hell with you, a member of your family. Continue.
But whether single member districts are fully the answer remains to be seen. African Americans face a special challenge. They have been moving out of Austin entirely, making it harder to carve out an electrical district that will guarantee their representation. A
All right,
different
hold on. It
problem
said the
affects.
single member districts are fully answer remains to be seen. It said African Americans face a special challenge because they have been moving out of Austin entirely. Are they moving out or are they being forced out? Have we been seeing the gentrification going on? That's why they're moving out
Concept.
because it's being gentrified. That's why they're moving out. Okay, because they're being pushed out. They're being forced out, or else they would still be there. Continue reading.
If I could add,
Oh yeah, definitely. Damn right.
because I've been in Austin for a while and I've seen all the changes. You know what I mean? Like they'd rather have bus routes and bike routes instead of helping, you know what I mean, the people that's on the east side of I-35. I've seen airport go from the hood into a multi-million dollar resident. I've
Damn.
seen 4th Street get transformed to the hood into a white neighborhood where the white people come club. And need I say more, man? Like all of the parks have definitely changed. And the only thing good I have to say is that the Hispanics and blacks aren't at war over territory anymore on where we can sit and chill. Now we can sit and chill and relax and have fun like the family that we are, the nation of Israel, sir.
That's right. Give that brother a mighty hand. Damn right. Because he been out here. He got to witness. He's witnessing the changes, all the changes that we read in this article. He got to see firsthand. Okay, got to experience it. Understands exactly what the hell's going on. Continue reading off at the Makia.
Yeah, I'm right. Let me add young man back in the queue right quick. Bubba
Please,
Shah.
big one.
Hey, when you get on, hey, mute your mic, young man. Bubba Shah. All right. Let me find out where I was at. Okay, right here. A different problem affects Asian Americans who now make up 6% of the residents, not suffering the same segregationist legacies as blacks and Latinos.
They're
They are
not. They're
more
not. They're not. Hey, they're not. I wonder why they're not.
all right.
Why would they? You know why they're not? Give me Deuteronomy. Let's just go to Deuteronomy 28. This is why they're not. This is why the Asian Americans who make up 6%, they're not suffering the same segregationist legacies.
Then would you turn that light over there, please?
Or
All right,
actually, give me
Sluggy.
give me Psalms 147. No, that's what I want. That's what I want
19.
Salakia. That's you already know.
Yes,
You
sir.
already know. And I'm gonna keep reading some of this article. It says a different problem affects Asian Americans, who now make up 6% of the residents, not suffering the same segregationist legacies as blacks and Latinos. They are more spread out across the city, making it difficult to guarantee direct representation. That is a lie. They have representation. That's why they have a whole damn Chinatown, every goddamn city in America. Okay? They have representation. So that's a lie. Okay? It says, as for Latinos, when the plan goes into effect in 2014, they'll probably net one or two more seats. We'll see. It's not likely. Okay. But this is why other nations don't go through what we go through. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So he's showing his word and his statutes and his judgments unto the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Continue.
Verse 20. He had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
You see, they don't know the judgments of the Lord. They don't know the pressures of being a black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. They don't know the curses. Now go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1. They don't know these curses and these judgments because they are not the Lord's people. All right? We are. We are of the Lord. And I'm going to continue reading real quick of this. Or yeah, actually, go ahead. Go ahead, Officer Tamaki. You can read that.
All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Okay, so it said it shall come to pass. Now, if we would have hearkened, if we would have listened closely to the voice of the Lord thy God and observed to do all of his commandments, okay, he would have set us high above all nations. But right now, you living on the other side of 35 on the east while they living on the west because you are not high above all nations. You are low because you are suffering these curses. Drop down to 15.
All right, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if we don't listen, all these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. Continue reading.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
That's what that's what this article is explaining. Because we are cursed in the city, we are cursed in the field, we are at the bottom, and we need to come back together and rise to the top. Can you go back to the article so we can finish that out?
You want to start at the perhaps?
Con.
All right.
And I guess tomorrow we'll touch on the other. We'll try to get the other two articles in tomorrow. We're definitely not gonna get that in tonight.
Yeah, no sir. We rocking and rolling. All right. Perhaps the biggest case. Oh yeah, my bad. Let me make sure it's sharing. Perhaps the biggest case to make for single member districts in Austin is that they will lead to geographic diversity in the council.
See, that's what they're
Today,
trying to do. They're trying to make it. They're trying to make it diverse. They want. They said the only way they can fix it is if we lead to diversity. But the only way we can make it is if we be ye holy. What does holy mean? to be separate. Okay,
Right.
not to make it more diverse. We need to make it real undiverse. Make it just us. Make it only us. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Continue reading.
Today, five of its seven members, including the mayor, live downtown or in West or Central Austin. Do I feel that having a diverse governing body with not just ethnic diversity, but geographic diversity, age diversity, diversity of professional experience, that really is going to add another, that's really going to add to another level of enrichment to public policy, said 37 year old Parla Cavevos.
All right.
Right?
So this, she's saying we need it need the diversity. It's going to have to be. It can't just be the governing body with just ethnic diversity, but they need that geographical. You need to know what it's like to live over here. Age, okay. We don't need just a bunch of old devils trying to run and tell us what the hell is good for us. Diversity of professional experience, all of that. Okay, that will add to the enrichment of the public policy. Okay, continue.
Who ran unsuccessfully outside of the traditional Hispanic seat in 1999. I
You
mean,
see, but she ran
2009.
unsuccessfully. You know why? Because she didn't run for those seats that her oppressor offered her. And what happened? She was unsuccessful. Okay, when she ran outside of the traditional Hispanic seat in 2009. Because remember the gentleman's agreement. The gentleman's agreement gave you a traditional seat if you were black, or a traditional seat if you were Hispanic, and you are not allowed to run for any of these other offices, of these other seats, because you need to be in your place, because we are cursed in the city and we are cursed in the field. And that's why there's no let up. That's why there's they don't take their foot off of your neck. Okay? Because they don't want you in their establishments. If you didn't already know, you aren't welcome. Okay, continue reading.
It just makes for a richer decision making process. The question is how increasing diversity in political representation will eventually make Austin a more generally microcultural
Multi
city, multicultural city. Policies is one
politics.
thing. Politics is one thing. The next step is getting citizens from different backgrounds to know one another, to eat in the same restaurants, to move through the same spaces. One thing I always admire about Houston is how confidently immigrants claim public place for themselves, how working families picnic in Hardeman Park, or elated quinceañeras roam the Galleria with their brightly attired and
Entourages,
entourages and pose for put portraits
portraits.
portraits for the Williams waterfall.
And I guarantee they hate that. They don't want you in front of their Williams waterfall with your quinceañera dress, okay? With your vibrant, bright entourage. Y'all out here taking pictures in front of things they love. Continue.
Let me find my spot. Okay. I sorely missed this site when I moved to Austin. This visible, this this visibility. How you say that?
Yeah, visibility.
This visibility and celebration of cultural difference. But maybe things are changing. On a recent Sunday, following a peaceful afternoon at the Oasis on Lake Travis, I passed two very proud parents and a girl in a flaming hot pink quinceañera gown in their way up to the restaurant. She seemed as out of place. There was a gal in stilettos at a hill country wedding, but she was beaming, unencumbered, un,
Unencumbered.
unencumbered, it's like it, and she made me smile.
All right, give me Deuteronomy 7:1.
Uh,
Mike, you brought the articles. Got them articles.
yes, sir. Now it's a heavy history class right here, sir.
Yeah,
It's the
man.
book of
We
Deuteronomy.
in Austin. You know, this is Austin. We in Austin. I want. We're gonna start at 1, so they know that we need to be separated from these people. But yeah, it's just we live in Austin. We need to learn Austin history. We need to see what really goes on.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. This is a heavy class. I ain't seen one like this. So shout out to Officer Kadar one, man. Doing
Damn
this
right.
mighty
Shout out
work.
to Officer Gadai one, seeing I was fit to hold the class for him. Okay.
Alright. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the how you say that?
Where we at?
Jebusites, seven
Oh,
nations greater
Jebusites.
than Jebusites, seven nations greater and mightier than thou.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Con.
Verse 2. Oh, snap. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver thee before thee, deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them.
See, we ain't supposed to make no covenants with these people or show them no mercy because they have absolutely no mercy for us. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them, that thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
See, this is why we're supposed to be separated. You ain't supposed to give your daughters to them, to their sons, or take their daughters for your sons. You know, you got 12 beautiful nations right here inside the nation of Israel. 12 beautiful tribes to choose from. Okay, so you could pick from there. Continue.
Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
They will what?
Turn away thy son from following me.
When you want to be equal, when you want to come together with these other nations, you stop following the Most High and you start following the traditions of men. You start following after their customs, after their ways, after their beliefs, after their philosophies. Okay, continue reading.
That they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
And that's why we destroyed. That's why when we come together, we get destroyed. When we come together, we get placed back at the bottom because we don't have no understanding. Continue reading.
Verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. It's like you there?
Continue.
All right, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the planet earth,
Now, next to all people,
above all people,
join hand to hand, equal with all people.
above all people.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you're supposed to be above all people on the face of this earth. You're not supposed to be coming together with these other nations, joining hand in hand, talking about equality. The Bible don't say nothing about no equality. The Bible says to gather together, O nation, not desired, and be ye separate, because you are a special and holy people. Okay? We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. We're going to get the can you get the security announcements?
Sir.
And I got the prayer. I'll sound it off.
So you got it? All right, that's a bit. Give me 1 second. I didn't know you was gonna end it right there.
Yep. So like a little surprising sometimes.
Yeah. All right, I got you.
All right, go ahead.
This is ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Let me close this off. We're the ISUPK. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they're off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves to the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew. My Ishura, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Upcoming holy convocation will be the Feast of Purim. This will be the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. It's falling on a Sunday, March the 5th, and Monday, March the 6th, 2023. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. If anyone wants to come to troop in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. This includes the ISUPK security announcements. Pass class back to Officer Shamar 1.
All right, we're going to Imagium, which means stand. We're going to SAR and face the east. This camera. All right. Abanau.
Abanau.
Sebashamayim.
Sebashamayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Aya.
Aya.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Malakwaka.
Tabaa.
Tabaa.
Tazayaka.
Watazayaka.
Aya.
Aya.
Asha.
Asha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Aya.
Aya.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakia now.
Wasalaki now.
Kawatia now.
Kabawati now.
Kasalakia now.
Kasalaki now.
Kawatia now.
Kabawati now.
Wala.
Wala.
Taba now. Slakia. Taba ya now.
Taba ya now.
Banasawan.
Banasawan.
Abo.
Abo.
Hawashanawa.
Hawashanaw.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Right.
Ra.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Maka.
Maka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Waha Allah.
Waha Allah.
Waha Taparath.
Waha Taparat.
La Walayum.
Wahalamyum.
Aman.
Aman.
Now in the English, our Father,
our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts,
Forgive us our debts.
as we forgive our debtors.
And we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not
Lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
Thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatuh.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakathum. All right, Yadamata. Okay, we're going to Sar, turn and face the sisters. Sisters rise. All right, men of Israel. All right, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak,
Yahweh Shabbat.
Yajamata, class dismissed.